what's going to happen with Bitcoin? Is it going to go up? If it goes up, alt will pump, but is it actually going to go up? We're going to discuss that with a little bit of news. We are now pretty much exclusively a DeFi channel, but we're still going to throw out some news just to keep you satiated. Let's get amongst it. All right, so firstly, like tariff news is still a scary thing, and I don't think Trump's going to come out and negatively affect the markets right now, but China is now kind of stirring the stick from the other side. And they're basically saying, if people work with the US to try and boycott them in some sense, then China firmly opposes any party reaching a deal at the expense of China's interests, which of course is to be expected. I do think in general, like countries need to become more self-sufficient because that's just how you protect your citizens. We'll have to see how it's going to go. I actually do think that China will lose in this, to be perfectly honest, because countries are going to become more nationalists. And this is what we're basically seeing. So short-sightedness, yeah, I think this can affect the markets all over the world for now, but we'll have to wait and see what actually happens. Let's have a quick look at some charts here. Specifically, we'll start with US dollar dominance. I mentioned this before, and I'll mention it just again quickly. When you start to see dominance fall, nothing, of course, is financial advice, never will be. But when you start to see dominance fall, then you know that's going to rotate into assets. In particular, like at this point here, you can see, okay, that's high. That's 7th of April. Goes up high again. It's green. Other assets are going down. But then you start to see it go red. And this is when you want to start to pay attention. If it continues red, especially at this point, when you start to see it move down heavily, that is your signal. Like this is a buy signal, and you can see this started on the 11th. Here, you know, I can understand you a little bit. Well, we'll see what happens. But this in particular, now this on the 2-hour chart. So now we can also see that we're starting to move down. If you want to give it a few more hours, you're welcome to. But I am predicting we kind of beef on up. So keep in mind this date here, the 11th. So Bitcoin on the 11th is here. It jumped up and then it kind of came on down. But on the 11th, it was clean. It was clean. And you can have a look from here to here. It's like 4%, of course. If you go from here to when you would actually close the trade, it's like 6%. Okay, I got that wrong. Sorry, that's okay. So from about here, okay, it's 9%. It's a sizable run up, and you can, of course, you can take profits here, although you wouldn't have necessarily known that it was going to crash at this point. It came back on down, and it was kind of doing well, and then it came on down. You'd have to look at a higher time frame for that. Now you're seeing we started to move up, and we have some resistance, which I'll cover in a second, at around 88,000. With Sol, you can see the same stuff happening. There's a bit of a move up, and then on the 11th-ish, it started to move up, and it just kept on moving up from like 113 to here. And we're not as vertical as we was, but we still got a bit of movement in us. So potentially, if we break this at resistance at 88K, 88.8 to be kind of exact, but 88K, then if we have a daily close here, then we have upside potential coming here. Otherwise, we could go back on down. So that's a very, very particular exact zone. And I still think in general, I think we've got a situation where we have going to token 2049, SUI, Basecamp, and like a host of other things happening over in Dubai. I think this is going to push up the fundamentals, the speculation, the articles, the crypto Twitter vibes. That's my kind of guess. St. Pump is a good trader, and I don't like to do this too often because I'm not trying to tell you if it's going to go up or down. It's a key level. It's a very, very key level. So sadly, we're still under the huge 88K resistance. It significantly increases the chance of seeing it go down. So we need to break through that. So all I'm trying to say here is if you want to wait for 88K to kind of show if it's going to go up or down, you're of course going to miss out on something. It could go from 88K to 92, but you can do that if you want to. In general, a whole lot of green in the market, and our fear and greed is at 39, so we're a little bit better as we come into this hyped time, I believe. This is very, very interesting. This is some very technical news, but Vitalik has put out a post saying they should move away from the Ethereum execution from the EVM to RISC-V. And this is kind of complex, and I don't get it perfectly. It's the architecture itself. It'd mean a massive change. The thing is, it would take years to roll out, but it probably should happen. But I will go and play on some EVMs and whatnot, but it's looking really, really difficult that the ETH asset will do well. And there have been people saying it's going to do well for quite some time, and it's just underperformed. Even now, gas is so inexpensive over on Ethereum, but no one's going and doing stuff because, like, it's just boring. But moving to this RISC-V, this would mean far more risky, new technology and whatnot. And it's an architectural, like, component difference. And then there'd be a new set of code and things like that would move on top of it. Probably it's going to have to happen in order to save the layer 1, because all these layer 2s just fragment things. But we'll have to wait and see how it goes. It's getting a lot of traction. Yeah, let's see. Solana has been doing well in terms of the amount of staking that's actually been happening. We did briefly pass the Ethereum staking, but then there's a little bit of a bump in the price of ETH, and we are no longer, we haven't flipped it. But still, this is a good time to just remind you, stake your soul and stake it with validator.com. Istanbul for Crossroads. If you're going there, I won't be there because I won't be, but 25th, 26th, there should be some cool stuff. It's not going to be anywhere as big as what's happening in Dubai, but this is one of those conferences. I'm just keeping you in the loop. We've got Solana Economic Zone happening right now in Dubai. Then we've got this. Then we have Token 2049. Then there's like a staking summit or around that. And then there is Sui Basecamp. And there's a host of things that I just think there's going to be fundamentally some pretty good news. And as long as Trump's administration doesn't come out and go ape, we should be fine. Having a look at the calendar, which has got a whole lot of stuff in there, but a couple of things I just want to point out. NFT resizing. I've done a video on this today. So this is when it ends. Please get in there, resize your NFTs. A lot of the people that watch this channel have been around for a while. You probably have 100 NFTs to go and claim back $2 each or something like that. So get amongst it. Token Guy is doing a 1K to a 10K challenge. He's doing this in public. Thus far, he's been doing well. In 30 days or less, he'll be using perps or LP strategies. 9 wins, 2 losses, and 1 break even. A couple of days in, 1,000 to 2,500. He does this in his channel, so you can go and join his channel. Thus far, it's just been so long, short, etc. Not DLMMing, but still, nothing's financial advice, but you may want to give it a go. This is his link below. PumpDotFun became the #1 DEX on Solana by weekly volume with the launch of its AMM swap. And I just think that memes are going to start to come back a little bit more. Just need to be really good at navigating them. I did a video on like some things to look out for, because otherwise you will be wrecked. It's just max extraction. There's very little creativity. So don't hurt yourself out there, please. Zora, which is like a content, anything can be a token thing on Base, is going to be live. This has the worst token. Did I even cover it? No, I didn't. Let me find it. This has the worst tokenomics, and just everything about it is just really, really nasty. Barrett, who is co-founder Mountain Down Ranger Finance, he put out a post I saw and tagged AIXBT. And look at this. Looking good. Post-trading looks insane. And this is like, you simp, no governance, no utility, nothing. But my point here is nothing to do with Zora, whether you like it or don't like it. You probably don't even know what it is, to be honest. It's just, if Jesse from Base starts to shield a project, probably go and use their project, even if it's on Base, because I don't want to go and accuse them of anything, but immediately after they did a snapshot and then a token generation event, after being bored for months, maybe years. So follow what the guy's saying. You don't have to love him. You don't have to fangirl him, but he's probably going to give you some alpha in terms of airdrops. Just be very mindful. Yeah, I don't know. Base. It is what it is. Don't like it at all, but I haven't even played with it, but I don't really like it nevertheless. So that's a bit short side on me. Okay, now I'm going to have a look at Treeverse. Remember, nothing I'm talking about, that it's just news that I found interesting that I think has value. DeFi is my main focus, but sometimes DeFi is just scammy and shammy, and like there's massive APYs, but the token doesn't go up because like the tokenomics are bad. And we have to find and curate good examples that lead us into a profitable way. I do think the other aspect that's going to make crypto so much more fun is like decent games. I'm enjoying DeFi Dungeons. I'll speak about that in a second. So Treeverse Season 1 is now live. This is on Immutable. It's not actually live. It's broken, but it looks good. Immutable, I'm aware of what it is. It's like an EVM layer 2 scaling solution for like gaming. And it is, this looks kind of fun. This looks like a game that I bought assets in called Embassorted years ago, and I think it's kind of in some sort of beta still. But this could be something that you want to get involved in. We still need to wait, and we need to see if it actually manages to attract people. But it looks kind of cool, and you can go and buy some assets. These assets can't be used in the iOS store due to store regulations. They're not very expensive. I haven't even worked out how to bridge over here. And the reason why is because the game is not worked out yet. So I'm going to follow it. You may want to follow it. Have a little bit of play. If it's boring, don't play it. Don't buy an asset first. Just go and play it for a little bit. If it's fun, cool. I kind of hope and envision a game where me approaching a little bit older, I'm there running around doing stuff, looking at Meteor on one side or some perps on the other side, or doing some research, voice chatting with my team, friends, random viewers, and we're just like researching and seeing what's fun out there while we go and collect some random, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to game, but some gold and some wood, and we find some tools and we sell some tools. That's the kind of future I think would be kind of cool. And then DeFi Dungeons. DeFi Dungeons, they're shipping some releases this week and next week. So this should improve, have more things to do in the game. And I am still playing the game, haven't sold anything, still playing it. My assets are down. I'm okay with that because I think it's going to have a whole lot of cool unlocks. That's just my opinion, okay? Do it if you want, don't do it if you don't want. And I'm going to remind you about this quite a few times because it's worthwhile, exceptionally worthwhile. I use this every day. Cast card. I'm going to do a dedicated video. My referral is Seb Monty. You get 20% off whatever card. But use this. They have a points program. If you're in the US in particular, use it. When you go overseas to a foreign country, quite often there's like a 3 or more % markup. With this, if you do it in another currency that's not US dollars, it's 2%. So this is cool. It has got KYC, which, pretty much everything has KYC. And so I just send like US dollars to it, USDC, and I just go spending, and I use it for basically everything in Portugal. That's all for today. Subscribe, check out this video on Soul Incinerator, get back your soul. I'll catch you in the next one.